Welcome to the new episode of DHTML. In this session, I'm going to discuss about the functions in jQuery. So, let's start. jQuery uses function to perform the action on selected elements. Functions can be built in to jQuery or user defined. You almost always end up using both at same time. So the one of the element of jQuery, we use a function for traversing the DOM. The DOM is document object modeling, which starts from HTML to head section and up to the body section, right, and ends with close HTML tag. So that is the structure of the DOM. So using the function you can traverse, right, from bottom to top or top to bottom approach. So let's see the nature of programming on web using JavaScript. And now jQuery frequently requires looping or iterating through several elements. For example, dot each function. So dot each function similarly work as a for loop in C programming. Let's see. Dot each function takes a list of selected elements and iterates over each of them, doing something to each as its loop through the list. jQuery contains numerous functions or looping and iterating. This process is known as jQuery parlance as traversing. When using traversal function, you almost always do so with the help of user defined wrapper function. Along with the dollar this operator. So this operator similarly work as this keyword which used in C programming. So here we have this dollar this selector. Like this keyword in object oriented programming, the dollar this selector refers the current object, in the case the item currently being traversed. So let's see how to traverse. So first we will understand the program. So here you can see the program. In the head section there is a title, iteration for iteration test, the script, and the jQuery source mention. Let's see the body. In the body you can see there is a table tag. In table tag there is three heading. There is team name, WL record, and win percentage, right? So that means we have a 3 column. So there is one table. In one table there is 1, 2 and 3 column, and their names are team name, WL record, and win percentage. And as per that there is a record. So this is row 1, then this is row 2, this is row 3, right, and here blank tr, yes, then this is row 4. So 4 records are there. One title, total 5 records. So the first row is the title row because there is a th tag, and 4 table rows are there, 4 records in one table. And after that, yes, this is the 5th one, sorry. So 5 records, so total 6 rows. So you can see, and it ends with the table tag. Now let's see the script. Type text slash JavaScript, and you can see that the document gets ready. So dollar document dot ready function, tr odd, right? So using tr odd, this means you want to select the odd number of tr tags, so which are the odd number 1, 3 and 5, because uh, 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 we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, total 5 tr tag. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So out of this, using this keyword tr colon odd, it will select first row, third row and fifth row, and you want to make changes with that row. So what changes you want? So dot css, you want the color of the background color for that row is #abacab, and that is the background color, and the font color will be red. So there is alternate color, right? So the first row color is, let's say, uh, the color is mentioned here, right? So the first row color is different, second row color is by default, because which is not mentioned, so by default it's a white color, right? So first row font color is red, second row font color is black, third row again font color is red, fourth row font color is again black, and fifth row font color is red. So like that way you can traverse the document object model, right? So this is the one use. So I will just go back to this, so you can traverse. See the few examples of jQuery selectors. Using star, you can select all elements. Using this keyword, you can select current HTML element. Using p.intro, you can select a tag with class intro, because there is a dot. P colon first, so that means you want to select a first p tag. ul li first, so you want to select the li element of first ul tag. ul li first child, so select the first li element of every ul. Then href, it selects all the elements with href attribute. Then a target as blank, right? So again target is the attribute of anchor tag, so it selects the element a with target attribute, the value equals to blank, whose target attribute is blank, so select only those anchor tags. Then target not equals to blank, so select those anchor tag whose target is not blank. Colon button, which selects all the button elements and the input elements type equals to button. Then tr even, tr odd, same way you can write p colon even, p colon odd, right? If you have a multiple paragraph, right? Let's say paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even paragraph, odd paragraph, right? First paragraph, child paragraph. So you the first, using first keyword, you can select the first element. Child, if you write a first child, right? So let's say inside the p tag, if there is a maybe the division tag, so p space division colon first child, right? So like that way you can use it. So this is I mean this is used to traverse your HTML elements. So using this you can traverse it. In above example, see, for any team whose win-loss percentage is at or above 500, meaning they won at least half of their games. This example applies the bold font to their field. You can accomplish this with the following jQuery. So this is the basic one, and let's see if the score is at or above 500. So you want some changes for those row, for those records. So let's see how to change it. So for that, tr colon odd, right? So that is the basic one. The background color is this, and that, I mean, that we have already done in the that we have already learned in the previous code. The new thing is dollar dot percentage dot each function. If dollar this dot text, because currently you are selecting to the current element, if text is greater than or equals to dot 5, right, or in that place you can write dot 500, that is 500. So dollar this, so the same element, so this is, I mean, if the content of the text, for fetching the content, for fetching the record, right, so you have to use one function is text, right? In further topic we are going to learn what is the exact use of text function. So right now we are using if the text of the current element is greater than or equals to dot 500, right? So change the font width as bold. So dot percentage is the class, right? So you can see where is the percentage class. So in the third column, right, the win percentage, you can see in each column the class is mentioned, in every row class percentage. So this percentage, and using text function you can fetch dot 500. So which font will be upgraded as a bold? So 600, 550 and 500, because 300 and 100 are lesser value. So using this code, I mean by adding 2 more lines, right, you can make further changes, 3 more lines, fine. So this is very easy. The next we have, that is the parent method, which returns the direct parent element of the selected element. In DOM tree, this method only traverses a single label up to DOM tree, right? To traverse all the way up to the document's root, use the parents or parent until method. Same way we have a child method, right? So we have a children or a find method. So a traverse a single label down to the DOM tree, or all the way down to the last descendant, I mean the return the children or other descendant element. So use children or the find method. So you can see that dot percentage, the little bit changes with the previous code. Dot percentage class, use each function. So dot each function is for to use the for loop, because you want to repeat the same thing. So if dollar this dot text greater than or equals to dot 500, so in that curly bracket you can see dollar this dot parent class, right? What is the parent class of the percentage? So that parent element dot css, their font weight will be bold, right? So as per that, see, this is the program. this is the parent. So sorry, dot percentage class. So your uh, in the document object modeling, you are pointing to, let's say, this row. What is the parent element of this column? Because this is the td is the child under the tr, so the complete record will be bold. So this is how you can use a parent and the child element. If suppose inside the td, if there is any further element, if you have used, right, so you can use a children element instead of the parent element, right? So that is the concept of the parent and child element. Now working with the attributes. In addition to the class related to the attribute function, jQuery has function to work with attributes of the DOM. The most generic of this is .atr function. That is the atr is attribute function. The atr method sets or returns the attribute and the value of selected elements. So you can set the attribute as well as you can fetch the value of that attribute. So let's see the code. $button dot click function $img dot atr function, and their width is 500, right? So this is how, if attribute, see, this is the meaning is what, by clicking on this button, right, somewhere the button if you have created, right, so if button is clicked by user, it will, if the attribute of image tag is not set as 500 width, so it will be set, right, because you want to set the attribute. And if you want to fetch the value, so you can fetch the value as well, right? So for fetching the value along with the atr function, right, you can fetch the value, because in previous code, see, using text function we can fetch the value, and along with that, using if function, using if condition, we can compare the value. So you can use for loop as the for loop, instead of for loop, here we have dot each function. So here we have for loop similar to your C programming. Here we have if condition for comparing the values, right, and for fetching the values we have further uh, functions. So for changing the text and HTML, you can completely rewrite a page using functions such as .text and .val. Of course, just because it's possible doesn't mean that it's good idea. However, you can sometimes find that you need to rewrite the portion of the HTML within the page, or change the text or the value. So along with using the text function, you can fetch the value, you can change the value, that means set or returns both. The HTML function retrieves and changes, retrieve and changes the entire HTML. So let's see, there is three function: text function, HTML function, and val function. Now you can see the use of text function. Text function set or returns the text content of the selected element, right? So in the previous code, you can see here you have used text function, so it fetch the value of the percentage class, right, and using if condition, the fetch value is compared with this value. .html function sets or returns the content of selected element, and .val function, it sets or returns the value of the form field, right? So if you want to fetch the value of the form element, right, basically form element of HTML is used to fetch the records, collect the data from the user, right? So for fetching the value from the form element, so you have to use well function. And for setting and return the value, we have two options, text and HTML. Let's see the example for this as well. See, HTML script, jQuery library called document.ready function. So you want to ready your document. $# button 1, if clicked, I mean click function is used. So hash test, right? So hash test is it's a ID of the particular element. Let's see where uh, hash test ID is used in HTML element. So if you want to point to the hash test 1 ID, their dot text will be hello world using text. If button 2 is clicked, test2 dot html bold, and you want to display the value, I mean you want to write the value on the browser, that is hello world using HTML, but the HTML element is used along with that, so you can make it bold. So that is the difference between the HTML and text. Well function is used only for the form field, but text and HTML function work similar, only one difference, it sets and returns the value. But in text you can't use the HTML element. Here you can use HTML element, I mean formatting you can apply. See here the bold tag is used, but here you cannot. And the third is, if button 3 is clicked, so the third is test 3, so the value of hello world using well function. So in that form field you want to display the hello world, right? So hello world 3 statement it will be display by clicking on the particular button, hello world using text, hello world using HTML, hello world using well function. So let's see the HTML element, head, body, paragraph ID test 1, paragraph ID test 2. This paragraph is going to be replaced using text function. So instead of this statement it will be replaced with this, right, by clicking on the first button 1. Set the text, set the HTML, set the value. Test 2, this paragraph is going to be replaced using HTML but with bold effect, right, this. And third paragraph, and inside that paragraph there is input field, input type text, so this is the form element. So in that text box you want to display the value is Zika, so instead of Zika it will be display hello world using well function. Yes, so that's it for today. I hope you are clear about the basic idea, the different function how you can use in jQuery. So in this session we have used many function like dot each function, this function, right, then the parent function, child function, right, how to work with attribute for that ATTR attribute function, or you can say attribute method, right, and text HTML and well function, right. So all those functions you can use with the help of jQuery. Thanks for watching my video. We'll meet soon in the next session.